Yo, it's your boy Rodney Perry. I'm bringing you an evolutionary experience. Hey, it's game changing.
Hi, this is India with Designer Accessory Adoption. Thanks for watching this video and welcome back to my channel. Either way, if you're new or returning, thank you for clicking play. For those who are unfamiliar with my upload schedule, I typically load videos every Wednesday covering topics related to fashion, luxury, contemporary brands, more so focusing on the pre-loved, pre-owned market, but I do throw in some unboxings and reviews of items that I have purchased as well. And also I will throw in some lifestyle videos too. So if any of those topics are interesting to you, please definitely consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. Also, if you are enjoying what you're watching, please give me a thumbs up. That will help YouTube know that you're enjoying the videos, and it will help the algorithm suggest these same videos to other people who like similar type of videos. And so that would be really beneficial and appreciated if you could do that as well. And also, if you have any comments, questions, please definitely put those in the comments areas below, and we'll go ahead and get started with today's topic. Next, we will move on to kind of my general thoughts about it, pros and cons about this handbag. And so overall, the structure and the shape of it is really convenient, really small. I would say it's a really good size to where it's small enough you could wear it as a crossbody. You can go out and about during the day or even later in the evening with it. However, it's not so large that, you kind of don't feel that versatility with being able to wear it in the different ways that you can. So overall, I think the general functionality of the shape of it is really good. I would say that the leather does feel really nice. Like I mentioned, it is lambskin, and I think that at this price point of under $500, or in my case, definitely it was around the like $230 range. That to get a lambskin handbag is a really nice price point to get it at that price point. So I think that's a nice benefit and feature of it. I would say, about to drop it. Sorry, I'm clumsy. So overall, I would say that I do like it for that reason. The leather does feel nice. The handle is it's not too padded. So I just feel like you get a good feel of it in your hand with whatever material that they use to structure the handbag. And then, like I said, it is definitely versatile because you have a couple of features that you can get. You get the detachable strap, and then you also get the chain that I showed earlier. Now, the hardware does kind of have this like plasticky sound to it, so it definitely does not sound like metal to me. Or if it is metal, it doesn't sound like it kind of sounds like a plasticky sound. And if you haven't, it's so hard to describe a plasticky sound, but let me get the strap here and I can kind of like clap them together so you can kind of understand what I mean. It's just not the sound of it doesn't sound as crisp and as loud as if you were clasping together two metal pieces. If you ever hear someone describe that or type that in the description, that's what they're talking about. But you can kind of hear that. It's kind of muted. It's a low claspy clicking sound, whereas if you had metal hardware, it would be a louder, crisper, sharper sound to it. And so if you've seen any of the other like authentication videos where people show you tips to authenticate Chanel, if you hear this sound on a Chanel bag, that bag is not real. So it definitely just has like I said, it's kind of a duller sound to it. It's not as sharp. So either way though, I mean, I think you get a good value for your money with this handbag, I would definitely say, are my initial thoughts. So pretty much, like I said, I like that versatility. Now I do like that you have the interior compartments. I had another handbag from Tory Burch that had a flap to it as well. I don't remember the name, but if I do remember, I'll throw it down below and say that I referenced it in the video. But with that one, it was more of a boxy shape, and the top flap came all the way down to the full height of the handbag. So if you can imagine extending out this flap all the way down here, that's how it was. And it wasn't very functional. I really liked it, but I felt like I had to kind of pull down and do like this to kind of open it and then get inside and get my stuff. So it wasn't as functional. I do like that this flap is shorter, so I can easily go in and get what I need and close it out. So I think that was very, the design of this is definitely fits my lifestyle better, and I feel like I can get in and out of it a little bit better as well. So that's one thing that I do like about the handbag is the general shape of it, the functionality of it with the different straps, and then I think the quality of the leather is pretty good definitely for this price point. I would say another thing that I discovered was another pro is the hardware definitely does hold up pretty well. And the leather does too. So like I mentioned earlier, my handbag was sitting on the trunk of my car and it was kind of towards the edge of it. And it decided to fall forward, and it was close enough to the edge that it fell from the trunk of the car all the way down to the floor. So it fell flat like this. I'm sorry, not floor. It fell on the concrete. And so there was a little bit of a scratch, which let me try to close this so you can see. There was a little bit of a scratch to the hardware, but it wasn't so bad, especially thinking about it fell from the top of a trunk to concrete, and I got a little bit of a scratch on it. Now, when you have a brand new item, you first get a scratch, you're like, oh my gosh, it's the worst thing ever. But it isn't so bad. I had to let it kind of settle in a little bit. And the fact that my leather didn't scrape up or scratch up either, I think that's a really good sign that this will wear pretty well. Let me try to get a little bit close there. So as you can see, I don't know, it's kind of like in this area here, it did mark up just a little bit, but not too bad. And I'm trying to like move it side to side so you can kind of see. It's just kind of in the middle area where you twist the lock. So I'd say definitely for the fact that it fell that far, that's not so bad. And like I said, the leather didn't scratch up at all. So I think that's really good. Now, other than that, I do think you can fit a decent amount of items in here, which is really good. And I would say that's another pro with this style. And you also have a little pocket on the back. Now, obviously, this is not the early 2000s where phones and you had the little bitty Nokias. Your phone's not going to fit in here. So I actually use it as a receipt holder as I'm shopping. So that way I can quickly just stick my receipt in the back pocket. And that way it doesn't crowd up my handbag. So that's what I use as the back pocket. But you can use it for your card holder or put your actual cards that you're going to use back there if you just need to get to them really quickly. So that's just a couple of ideas that you can use to kind of use that pocket in the back. Otherwise, it's not a fully functional pocket like as in to use your cell phone, which is primarily what I like to use it for. Now on to the cons. So the cons about this handbag, I will say, is that I'm going to try to kind of display this a little bit here, but it tends to lean forward a little bit. And so what I mean by that is, for whatever reason, the way that this handbag is structured, and I feel like it might be because the base is here and it's very flat, but you have a little bit more hardware here in the front. And so for whatever reason, that is throwing off the weight of this handbag to where it kind of leans a little bit forward like that. So if you can see there, if I'm holding it flat in my hand, how it's kind of pushing more towards the front than it is towards the center. This would be if it was sitting straight up. This would be if it was sitting back. But this one rests more like that. And that is the reason why it fell off of my trunk, is because it kind of leans a little bit more towards the front. So I would say that is a con because it does lean and it can be prone to falling. So what I've had to do is, even though I would love to use this front slip pocket to store my phone, I stick my phone in the back slip pocket to kind of distort the weight of the handbag a little bit better and allow it to lay flatter when it's standing up. I do like that it can stand up on its own. However, it does not have bottom feet. And I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. I think I'm a little bit neutral about it. It would be a nice feature to have bottom feet, so that way you're protecting the bottom of the handbag, but at the same time, I don't think it necessarily takes away from the handbag to not have feet. Another thing that I did notice is that and the reason why, I always put air paper in my handbag, but you always want to make sure one of the reasons why you want to do this is to keep its shape. And so I did notice that because you do have to kind of like push down just a little bit to get it closed and secure it, it does kind of start to sink in this middle area here. You'll see it's kind of like dipped in just a little bit. So I have to be mindful of that when I'm storing it and maintaining it, and also putting items in it, so that way I don't fully distort the shape of this handbag. So that I would say is another con, to make sure that you're mindful of. And I don't think it's any of the cons that I'm stating here now, I don't think they're anything that I would say is the end all be all. I don't want the handbag, but it is, some of those things may be important to you where it may be a make or break decision. So I want to call them out to make sure that, you just have a fair assessment, in my opinion, from my perspective of the handbag. So that is the front of it there. Otherwise, I would say overall I do like it, and it does work well. I love the neutral color of this bag too as well, because I think it's a really good neutral to take you from season to season, as well as you wouldn't have to necessarily worry about changing outfits per se because of the color of this handbag. So those are the pros as well. Now we'll move on to what fits in it. Okay, so now we'll talk about what fits in the handbag, and I couldn't get a good angle with the camera on my tablet, so I grabbed my computer chair to put it in. So this is a good angle for you. All right, so first I'll stick a wallet in. I'm just gonna put that in the back area. Like I mentioned, my phone, which is an 8, will go in the far back slip pocket back there in the back. I have a little pouch that has some items in it I will stick, and I'm just going to put that in the middle compartment. I have another smaller pouch, and I'll stick that up front. I have chapstick that I want to get, and I'm going to stick that in the front pouch. Mints, lotion. Also, I got a notebook. Let me close it up here. So a little small notebook. And that will also fit as well. Actually, yeah, there we go. You gotta kind of organize it and segment it. So overall, just want to do a clothes test here just to give you an idea. Obviously, you have things that are more important to you. It doesn't even distort the shape of it. And this is all what fits in the handbag, so that is pretty good. It is pretty heavy. But you also do have the shoulder strap. And I will say that I wouldn't necessarily take all of these items with me. Like the notebook likely would not go. Maybe some of these other items, but just to give you an idea, like I mentioned. So I have the phone in this back pocket, which you still have room for other things in there. But in my opinion, I think you should just leave it, especially with the phones the size that they are. You probably want to leave it like that. And then I still have a zipper pocket in the back here. I still have 2 slip pockets, but this one's pretty full with the notebook and my pouch here and my wallet. So just keep in mind there's 3 bulky things in there with that, or maybe 2 bulky and 1 thinner. And then I have another pouch, and that one's holding kind of my things that I need quickly, like my lotion, my chapstick, and mints. And so all of that fits in here without distorting the shape of the handbag. So I think you can get a decent size amount of items in here. So definitely thank you for watching my video. I'll leave that for visual display. So thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions, like I mentioned, please leave those comments below. Also, you'll see measurements listed down below in the details area of the video, as well as some other videos that I have posted that might be interesting to you too. So definitely check those out if any have an appealing title for you. And have a good day. Thank you for watching.